Hello and welcome to another educational video from Thompson's Coins. Today we're learning about Maundy sets. In the past week, two very interesting sets have come through the shop, and I thought it was time to do a video highlighting something from a country other than Australia. Here we go. So you may have heard of Maundy sets, or you may have even seen them in the past, but if you don't know what they are, let's have a look. So a Maundy set was a set of coins issued by the British monarch, and it consists of a 1, 2, 3 and 4 pence coin. Now typically they're also made of silver. Maundy sets were given out as part of a religious ceremony known as the Royal Maundy. This takes place on Maundy Thursday, the date just before Good Friday. The coins were intended to be a symbolic gift of the monarch's commitment to helping out those in need. Traditionally, these sets were also distributed directly and personally by the monarch to elderly members of the community that had made contributions to the community and the church. Also, interestingly, back in the day, this is way back when, the amount of sets, so the total production, matched the age of the monarch. So you can imagine, they were quite a prized piece back in the day. Now, time for a little bit of etymology. I love learning about things like this, like the origins of particular words, and Maundy was something that I'd never really thought too deeply about until doing a little bit of research for this video. Maundy comes from the Latin word mandatum. The word means commandment, and it refers to the commandment given by Jesus at the Last Supper to love one another, which is central to the Maundy Thursday ceremony. Now, Maundy money is something that I generally looked at as something that was prevalent in the 18th century, but it dates right back. There are actually examples of it being used all the way back in the 13th century with King John and King Edward I, both documented as giving these out. But it was King Charles II in the 17th century that has the honour of the first recorded distribution of Maundy sets. You may be surprised to learn that Maundy sets are still given out today, even as recently as King Charles's reign. So the main motivation for making this video was two interesting sets that came through the shop recently. We have it here an 1852 set from Queen Victoria's reign, and then over here we have a 1937 specimen set, which is fascinating in and of itself as it coincides with the coronation of King George VI, who was Elizabeth II's father. This set from 1937, in addition to being a beautiful set and a lovely presentation, actually contains a complete Maundy set within it. Okay, now taking a look at the George VI specimen coin set from 1937. We have, of course, the beautiful large crown. This is a lovely design which features both a lion and a unicorn holding up the crowned coat of arms there. Then we have the half crown, which is another lovely design with the quartered coat of arms design there. Moving on, we have the 2 shilling, also known as the florin, which features a crowned Tudor rose, which is flanked by a thistle and a shamrock. Then, further on in that top right-hand corner, we have the 1 shilling, which features a crowned lion atop a crown. Then, as this video is highlighting, we have the lovely Maundy set. So this is the 4, 3, 2 and 1 pence coin, all done in silver. Next up, we have the silver threepence, which features St. George's cross over a Tudor rose. Then the sixpence, which features a crowned royal cipher. Next, you'll notice another shilling, and this was the Scottish shilling. So issuing 2 different shillings allowed for the representation of both England and Scotland. Then we have the iconic penny, which features the seated Britannia, who was the female personification of Great Britain. Then the halfpenny with the ship, another nod to the naval history of Great Britain. Then we have the little farthing, which features a wren, which is one of the smallest and most common birds in the UK. Finally, you'll see the brass threepence, which features a thrift plant, which is known for its ability to thrive in harsh coastal environments, which is symbolic of resilience. Interestingly, the reason for 2 threepences featuring in this set is one of the proposed reforms to the coinage, which was originally put forth by Edward VIII, who famously abdicated, but was brought through from George VI, was the introduction of a brass threepence. So this was done in response to the increasing costs in silver, and the decision was made to issue a brass threepence. However, and once again, interestingly, the silver threepence was quite popular in Scotland, and as a result, they were both issued alongside one another, right up until the end of World War II. Now, as you can imagine, with fascinating sets like these being issued, it wasn't long before the collecting community started to catch wind of them and demonstrate an interest. So it was during the reign of Queen Victoria that the volume of sets being produced was actually far greater than the age of the monarch, and this was to allow collectors to take part in the Maundy set collecting. So this set from 1852 that was issued for Queen Victoria is quite interesting because this was one of those sets that actually doesn't have a mintage that coincides with the age of the monarch. She was only 33 years old at the time of the production, but there's over 1,500 of these sets that were produced. So I wonder if, and I'm not actually sure, maybe someone can clarify for me, maybe 33 were issued at the ceremony and then the additional production was then sold to collectors. I'm not actually too sure on that one. Now taking a closer look at the 1852 set, you'll notice a lovely little presentation box with a fancy little latch. Opening it up, you're greeted with the 4 denominations, the 1, 2, 3 and 4 pence denominations. Interestingly, these are all struck in what's known as medal alignment. That is to say that you rotate the coin on a horizontal axis. This differs from the typical Australian coinage that you'll be familiar with, which is referred to as coin alignment. So you rotate our coins on a vertical axis. There is also an interesting example of someone who was not elderly receiving a Maundy set. So Princess Maud in 1897, she was the granddaughter of Queen Victoria, and she was issued with one of these sets. Now this was a special set of circumstances. It coincided with the Diamond Jubilee of Queen Victoria and was a unique example of a time when a far younger member of society, but also a member of the royal family, was gifted one of these sets. So there you go, that's an overview of Maundy money. They're very interesting. Now if you're ever in a coin shop and you see one of these sets, you'll be able to tell people, I know what that is, why they were issued, and what it's all about. Also, let me know what your thoughts are. I wonder if it's the type of thing that we could adopt here in Australia, you know, distributing sets of coins, unique coins, specifically to, let's say, people who have contributed to their community. Some sort of community spirit recognition coin set or something like that. I think that'd be really great. Maybe I'll write a letter to the mint. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video highlighting something from beyond Australia. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think that the Maundy sets are a good idea? Is it something you'd like to see your country get involved with? If you have an interest in coins and want to get involved in the greatest hobby in the world, collecting, consider subscribing to the channel. I try to produce videos pretty regularly and make some informative content like this, which I hope you all enjoy. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.